Walt Disney was invited to create 4 separate attractions for the 1964 New York World's Fair. He took the offers, but was it a good choice for Disneyland?
Disneyland goes to the World's Fair. And now your host, Walt Disney.
You know you're on television. You don't know about television, do you? I want you to look pretty. That's it. Get your head up and hold it there now. Show them how you behave. That's a good one. That's a good one.
1964 was a big year for Disney. Disneyland was approaching its 10th anniversary, and this theme park that was predicted to fail within its first couple months of operation was doing better than ever. Plans were in the works for ambitious new rides and attractions, and land was recently bought over in Florida for the soon-to-be Walt Disney World Resort. However, approaching the year, most of the Imagineering was put to a halt to divert more resources into dreaming up the greatest World Fair attractions of all time. The first such attraction was Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, a show located in the state of Illinois' pavilion at the fair, featuring the most advanced audio animatronic the world had ever seen, up to that point, of course. The next attraction was General Electric's Carousel of Progress, a forward-looking show set in a rotating theater that featured impressive audio animatronics of its own. The largest of the 4 attractions was Ford's Magic Skyway, which seated fair visitors in a self-driving convertible Ford car that went along a track through the sky and into a world of animatronic cavemen and dinosaurs. The last, but certainly not least attraction was the Pepsi-sponsored It's a Small World, which was an immediate crowd favorite. Obviously, this undertaking by Walt Disney led to some great improvements back home at Disneyland. You got Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, which, although often overlooked nowadays, has a permanent home on Main Street. You had the Carousel of Progress, which, while now no longer in existence at Disneyland, had an awesome long run in Tomorrowland. You got Ford's Magic Skyway, which became the inspiration for the People Mover, which is also another abandoned attraction in Tomorrowland now, but the animatronics for that ride eventually found a new home on everyone's favorite part of the Disneyland Railroad with the dinosaurs. I mean, come on, who doesn't love the dinosaurs? And of course, you have Small World, which not only is in Anaheim, but in every Disney park in the world, with the exception of the brand new Shanghai. Not to mention, the success of the state-of-the-art animatronics at the World Fair led to all of the audio animatronics that you see in just about every single Disney ride that comes out nowadays. So don't get me wrong, all of the innovation for the World's Fair led to a lot of great improvements at Disneyland, and that's usually where people stop thinking about it. But in my opinion, all of this innovation came at a cost.
The New York Exposition of 1964 is the greatest World's Fair of all times. This is what we call our Imagineering department. It's where we dream up our new projects for Disneyland or World's Fair. You might be wondering how an animation studio like ours got into the World's Fair business. And frankly, I've often wondered about that myself. But we've been preparing for this international exposition for many years without realizing it.
For starters, the fair eventually led to the reasons why I think Tomorrowland is such a mess nowadays. I don't personally like Tomorrowland because you got the bones of the People Mover and the pointless theater that used to be the Carousel of Progress just taking up space in Tomorrowland now. But all my complaints about Tomorrowland could be a whole nother video sometime in the future. The biggest problem with Walt Disney spending so much time working on attractions for the New York World Fair, however, is that it ended up being the last big thing Walt Disney ever did. He died just 2 years later in 1966, leaving the attractions at Disneyland, such as Pirates of the Caribbean and the Haunted Mansion, to carry on without him, in addition to all of Disney World being Magic Kingdom and what Walt thought was going to be the experimental prototype community of tomorrow, which became a theme park, Epcot. Had he not accepted the invitations to build attractions for the World Fair, Walt likely would have lived to see opening day for Pirates of the Caribbean and possibly the Haunted Mansion, and he would have had much more time to work on those rides, making them different than they are today, for better or for worse. Same thing goes for all of the Magic Kingdom with more of his influence. Whether or not you like the direction that Disney parks are currently taking with building rides and attractions, it's undeniably different than the kind of stuff Walt was working on, which is a bit of a bummer that his attention was pulled aside for something else. So was the 1964 New York World's Fair a bad thing for Disneyland? It's possible, but we'll never know for sure. We do know that were it not for the World Fair, some Disneyland rides would be quite different, others wouldn't exist at all, and it's entirely possible that had he had more time to Imagineer for Disneyland, Walt would have come up with some brand new attractions that the world will now never see. For better or for worse, the New York World's Fair was Walt Disney's last big project, and his decision to accept the invitation to make those attractions radically altered Disneyland as we know it today. So what do you think? In your opinion, was it the right move? Was the World Fair bad or good for Disneyland? Hey, thank you guys so much for watching this Disneylander. I know it's a tiny bit different than the kind of stuff I normally do. I just wanted to test the waters and see what you guys think about a more history-oriented video. So tell me what you thought in the comments below. And on top of that, this channel recently hit 2,000 subscribers, which is incredible. I don't upload as much as I would really like to, but I'm super passionate about what I'm doing here, and the fact that I can share it with you guys and you're receptive and willing to watch and stick around it's absolutely amazing to me. So thanks again for watching. Thumbs up for 2,000 subs.